Show me that you feel the same as I do. If you turn and run away, that's fine too. 'Cause
Yeah! It's squabbling out there now. Yeah!
It's interesting to see Tank.Davis fanatics scramble like roaches when the lights are cut on, no pun intended, when it comes to creating excuses for why Tank.Davis had the outcome that he had. There's nothing that y'all can do. It is what it is, and it's right in front of your face. I even see y'all trying to pull down Terrence Crawford because Tank.Davis had a poor performance. You know, it is what it is. And out of all the things talked about, one of the things that I don't hear people talk about is all the dirty boxing that Tank.Davis was doing up in that ring. Not to mention, you know, the shoulder bumps, you know what I'm saying, in Lamont Roach's chin. Not to add to the fact that when Tank.Davis was bent over in front of Lamont Roach, he tried to sock Lamont Roach in the side of his leg. To add on top of that, when Tank.Davis had Lamont Roach in a headlock, he tried to swing his arm around his back and hit him on the top of the head. And when Lamont Roach be getting the best of him and caught him with a good shot, Tank.Davis decided to try to bite Lamont Roach's ear. Oh yeah, I seen that. You can't downplay that. It is what it is. You know what that comes from? Frustration. Because Lamont Roach was flustering him in that fight. And you want to know part of the reason for that? It's clear to see that Tank.Davis didn't have a game plan when it came to Lamont Roach. That's not hard to tell. All right. So he was frustrating that boy up in there. OK, Tank didn't know what to do. He didn't expect him to stand in front of him like that. He didn't expect him to walk him down like that. He didn't expect that he was going to, you know, counter off his shots like that. Put Tank.Davis into a desperate position. Not to add on top of the fact that he took a knee, which should be counted as a knockdown. All this is a black eye on boxing, including his career. But this is what happens when you ride the cherry pick train. Eventually that bitch runs out of gas. OK, and you end up in Realville town. OK, where you really have to throw down. And that's where we're looking right now. You know, that's why I love that Lamont Roach put this tweet out right here. You know what I'm saying? Because he put him in between a rock and a hard place where he can't run, where everything you do is going to be on display. He said, man, the rematch was already in play. You know what I'm saying? Because your team made sure of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm already signed up for a rematch. The only reason why we don't fight is because you are scared. That's checkmate right there. That's almost forcing him to have to fight him again. Because if he do anything else, we know how that's going to look. But then again, on top of that, after receiving a big favor like that from boxing, I don't think that you could turn the rematch down any damn way. You're going to have to go in and fight this dude. And I'm going to tell you why it's so interesting. Because in order to beat Lamont Roach, Tank.Davis is going to have to change his fighting style. OK, that juking to the left, juking to the right and shooting down the middle, then taking off behind the back door ain't going to work no more with Lamont Roach. Not only that, Lamont Roach exposed his flaws to everybody else. That stuff ain't going to work with him. OK, he has Tank.Davis mapped out now. So he's going to have to come up with a different way. But all that juking left and juking right and, you know what I'm saying, keep circling around, hoping you can run somebody into something, that's not going to work no more. So it sounds like to me, he at least going to need Calvin Ford back on his team. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I can say, at least when he worked with Calvin Ford, you could tell it was always a game plan in play. That wasn't the case right here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just thought, I understand that they said that they respected Lamont Roach, but evidently you didn't respect him enough. But that's why this is right. You know, that's why this is so interesting right here. But the main part is, if Tank had it so together, you know, and had everything in control, he wouldn't have been doing all that dirty boxing like he was. And I'm going to say this as far as going back and forth of whether you think this guy won or that guy won. Once again, common sense is deductive reason. You can even go back and listen to the commentary. And the commentary was horrible on this fight, by the way. But yet we can still use it. Just based off the reputation of how Tank.Davis win his fights lets you know that Lamont Roach won. In the beginning of the fight, when he wasn't doing nothing, what was the commentators doing? Making up excuses why Tank wasn't doing nothing. He's downloading the data. He's downloading the data. He's downloading the data. He's just waiting to get enough data, and then he turns up, which is usually what Tank.Davis does. You know what I'm saying? He takes off the first half of the fight, and then he turns up on you, and then he knocks you out. Okay? We all know that. Okay? The first beginning of the fight, and due to the commentary, lets you know that that's exactly what happened. The thing is, we were expecting at some point in the fight that Tank.Davis was going to turn up the heat. Okay? That turn up never happened. Lamont stayed on. Now, you know how he fights in the beginning of his fights. Supposedly, he's downloading. So that lets you know the first half of the fight, he fucking lost. And the second half of the fight, Lamont only got better. So just by default and common sense alone, that should let you know who won. Just based off his reputation of how he win fights alone. Okay? It ain't nothing to get some rounds in on Tank. It ain't nothing for Tank to be behind the first half of the fight. It ain't nothing. Because we expect that at some point he gonna push that button, detonate, and get the guy up out of there. Okay? That never happened. And the fact that it never happened lets you know what position he was in. And if you listen to his corner was telling him that his ass was behind. But I'm going to digress on that because that's really not the point of the video. The point of the video is you see your boy taking a page right out of Mike Tyson, don't you? And where does that come from? Frustrations because you don't got the answers to solve the riddle.